Hey folks, I am Pruitt. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. Time for another video. This time we're going to take a look at a tool inside of Photoshop, the content aware fill option. Now granted, this isn't something that's new to Photoshop. It's been in here for quite some time, but they have recently updated this tool to make it a little bit actually a lot easier and a little more functional for you when it comes to editing your photography. If you're new to hopping over to my channel, I appreciate you popping in. My channel is basically for folks that are just trying to get started in the world of digital content creation. Whether it's writing, whether it's videos, whether it's photography, I hope to offer a little bit of knowledge that I've learned over the years to all of you that take the time to sit here and watch these things. So again, I appreciate all the support. And feel free to hit that subscribe button there. All right, so let's go ahead and get right on into Photoshop. Okay, so I was recently working on a stock images project and came across this particular image in my queue. I don't remember shooting it, but hey, this works just fine as stock imagery, so why not work on it, right? Other than the lack of processing that's done to it, it needs to be sharpened and all of that good stuff. The problem I see with this is the actual aspect ratio of this image. It should be a little bit larger as far as the negative space goes, particularly here on this left hand side of the screen. And you can fix that by actually fixing it in camera and taking a wider angle, or you can use the content aware fill and crop tool inside of Photoshop to get this squared away. So first, let me go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and unlock this layer so we can start working on it. And I'm going to hit C for my crop tool, which is right here. And I'm going to expand this image to be a little bit bigger. And I think something like that will work. Because that way, in case someone wanted to use my image in their, in their projects or what have you, this little left-hand side would give them enough room to put in some type of, whether it's motivational speaking, some type of message, something that would be more useful for them other than just being a cup of coffee. Okay, so now I just click enter or just hit this little checkbox up here at the top and it's finished. But that looks really bad. So now I have this transparent issue right here on the left hand side. I need to get that filled in to look more like the rest of this countertop. So what I'm going to do is utilize the content aware options inside of Photoshop. But let's first make a selection of what we want to correct. So I'm going to hit M for my marquee, or just click up here and use the rectangle marquee tool. And I'm going to select this area. And then I'm also going to select just a little over that, so I'm going into the actual countertop there. So if I zoom in, you can see a little bit better here. All right, so you see my selection actually went into the countertop right there. All right, so now easy steps here. Just go ahead and click on that edit menu at the top, select fill. And then you go over here where it says contents. You have all of these different options. Select content aware. And you can leave these options at default, which is normal and the 100% opacity. And then when you click OK, Photoshop's going to do its thing and start thinking. And voila, there we go. It has filled in the additional space on the countertop. So if I remove this selection and zoom in on it a little bit, you can see that this pretty much looks like I took this properly and at a wider angle already. So Photoshop's Adobe Sensei AI does a really good job when it comes to simple content aware fill like that. All right, so let's take a look at something that's a little more problematic and utilize the new versions of the content aware fill. So, all right, so I have this other image over here, which is, pretty much just my feet hanging out at the river. And I'm looking at my shoes, okay? My shoes, if I wanted to use this for stock imagery, I could not use it because of the nice big swoosh right there. That is a intellectual property brand and all of that good stuff that cannot be used in stock photography. So what if I want to get rid of that? Okay, so what I probably would do is try to do like a patch tool. So I'll hit J on my keyboard up here and just select patch tool and see if I can just draw a little bit around the swoosh like that. And then with the patch tool, you can just drag it and do that. And it doesn't really work. Okay, I'd rather that just be a more of a smoothed out orange area. So I'm going to undo that. Okay. This is when you can utilize the content aware fill. Let's go ahead and clear that selection. And instead of getting my mouse, I'm going to grab my Wacom tablet. I highly suggest the Wacom tablets, highly suggested. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put a link in the description of this video so you can get yourself a Wacom tablet for under $100. And I promise you, it will make your photo editing process so much more pleasant. All right, so I'm going to grab my Wacom tablet here. Actually, I need to turn the thing on. That might help, wouldn't it? Okay. All right, so I got my Wacom tablet here, and I'm going to switch over to my quick selection tool. So I'll hit W on my keyboard, and I just want to select this little swoosh here. Zoom in, and I'll just select the swoosh like that and get the edges like that, something like that. That should work. Okay, so now let's zoom out a little bit, and now we're going to go over to the edit menu again. But instead of going to fill, we're going to go to content aware fill right there within the edit menu. Now, granted, a second ago we went into fill and selected content aware, so don't be confused. Just use the content aware option that's right under the edit menu. Okay, so we're going to click that and you'll see what happens here. Okay, so now notice that there's this green mask that's around, you know, a portion of the image and around your selection here. The selection part is what we're trying to fill in and match up with the rest of the shoe. Adobe is kind enough to give you this preview option here on the right hand side so you can see what it would look like if I were to hit OK. Now, what does this green mask mean? Okay, this mask is basically what the AI is trying to use as a sample. It's saying, okay, I need to take everything that's in this green area and try to figure out a way to tastefully paste it into that selection that the user has on the screen. Now, looking at this green area, I don't need the water to be in there. So if you look at your cursor, it has a little minus on it. So we'll just brush all of that water away because we don't need that to be part of the calculation and thinking and processing. Okay, so just brush away the green. And as I'm brushing away, take a look at your preview. Your preview starts to change. All right, so I'm going to brush away a little more because I don't want the white. I want the orange to fill in. So I'm going to brush away that white. Now you notice the orange started to fill in a little bit more there. I don't want the shoelaces because that shoelace has its own little texture on it. Don't want the sock or that white there. Still changes a little bit more. We're getting closer, right? So essentially, I'm just going to wipe away all of this that's not necessary. What's really necessary is that extra orange part right here on the screen. I want to sample from that part there. So let's just wipe that away. If you need to shrink your brush down, you can using your bracket keys, just as you would any other way, any other time. So I'm brushing that away, brushing that away. All I want is the orange, like so. All right, so now if you look at the preview, that looks a lot better. So if I hit OK, and bam, look at that. Change it out very, very nicely. Now I can go in here and do a little more touch up, like maybe try to blur it a little bit so the stitches don't look too terribly obvious right there, because it still sort of looks like a swoosh. But I can blur that out just a little bit. Okay, or if I want, I can hit my stamp tool, my clone stamp, and just hit Alt on my keyboard. Still looks like I have a little bit of a swoosh there. So let's try to go ahead and get rid of that extra seam there, and we can just use our clone stamping tool. So I'll sample this area here and just try to brush it in. Actually, you need to make sure you're on the right layer, like so. Better yet, merge those layers so it will actually work. Merge it. Okay, so now we'll just hit a sample and we'll brush that in so the seam goes away and it doesn't really look like a swoosh was even there. Now, if I really wanted to nitpick about it, I could add these black little stripes to go all the way down. Nope, I'm not gonna keep doing that. I just wanted to show you what it looks like to use the new content aware fill. It's not bad, right? So just remember, just go into the edit menu and select either fill to use the old version of it, which will give you a little more wonky results for stuff like this, or just use the new content aware fill option under the edit menu that's by itself and go in and just adjust the green mask and work with it that way. All right, so that's it, folks. Thank you guys for watching my video. Be sure to hit the share, like, and subscribe button, and feel free to leave me some comments below. I try to answer all the comments as soon as I can. Appreciate all of your tremendous support. It's time for the weekend. Go ahead and get yourselves ready for a nice weekend and hanging out and chilling. But be sure you get on out there and create and dominate. Thanks for watching.